Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the fifth unit of hydraulics 2, that is hydraulic machines. In hydraulic machines, there are two parts. Hydraulic turbines is the first part, and centrifugal pump is the second part. We are going to see the second part, centrifugal pump, today. Okay. So, what is a centrifugal pump? Okay. A pump or centrifugal pump is a device which provides energy to a fluid in a fluid system, and it assists to increase the pressure energy or kinetic energy or both of the fluid by converting the mechanical energy. Okay. So in short, what is a fluid? What is a centrifugal pump? It is a device which provides energy to a liquid, that for example water. Okay. And it converts the mechanical energy. The pump converts the mechanical energy into the energy of the fluid. Okay. Or the hydraulic energy. That hydraulic energy can be in the form of either pressure energy or kinetic energy. Okay. Now the basic difference between a turbine and the pump is that the former takes place from high pressure side to low pressure side, and the pump flow takes place from lower pressure side to a high pressure side. Okay. Now what happens in turbine is water is made to fall from a great height onto the turbines, which moves the turbines, and hence converting the power of the water or the fluid into mechanical energy. But in the case of a pump, it is totally opposite. What happens? The water, which is at a lower elevation, okay, which has a lower head, is converted into flowing water. It is converted from mechanical energy to kinetic energy with the help of pump. Okay. And water is taken from a lower elevation to a higher elevation. Okay. Thus in a turbine there is accelerated flow, while in a pump the flow is decelerated. Okay. Now, on the basis of transfer of mechanical energy, the pump can be broadly classified as: first is the rotodynamic pump, and second is the positive displacement pumps. Okay. Uh, in under rotodynamic pumps, again the centrifugal pumps can be classified as radial flow pump, axial flow pump, and mixed flow pump. Okay. Now in the rotodynamic pumps, okay, it works on the principle of converting the mechanical energy into flowing energy of fluid. Okay. That can be by combination of centrifugal energy, pressure energy, and kinetic energy. Okay. Now under rotodynamic pump, there is the first radial flow pump. Okay. In this pump, okay, the water is made to flow radially. In the axial flow pump, the water is made to flow axially, and in the mixed flow pump, the water or the fluid uh, is flown by a combination of two flows, that is the radial flow as well as the axial flow. Okay. Now in the positive displacement pumps, okay, the pump is in the form of a casing or a pipe, on which on the suction side of the casing, the area goes on increasing, and on the discharge side of the casing, the area goes on decreasing. Okay. For the flow to occur. Okay. So we are not going to study the positive displacement pump, we are only going to study the rotodynamic pump. Out of rotodynamic pump, we are concerned with the radial flow pump. Okay. We are concerned with the radial flow pump, which is also known as centrifugal pump. Okay. So we'll go next. Okay. now now we'll see the component parts and working of a centrifugal pump. Okay. Now this is the diagram of a centrifugal pump. Okay. uh, in which water from a lower elevation, okay, water from a lower elevation is transferred to a higher elevation with the help of the pump. Now, there are some component parts given here, but we have to study only few of those. Okay, out of all these component parts, we are going to study the strainer, the footwall, okay, the suction pipe, the impeller, the casing, eye of the impeller, and the delivery pipe. Okay, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Only 7 component parts are important and which we are going to study. Okay, so we'll study all of those in detail. A centrifugal pump consists of the following main components: impeller, casing, suction pipe, delivery pipe. Okay, this is the impeller. Okay, this vein like circular thing is the impeller. Okay, casing is the case which surrounds this impeller. Suction pipe and delivery pipe, this is the suction pipe from where water is sucked, and this is the delivery pipe from where the water is delivered to a overhead tank. Okay, so we'll see first impeller. An impeller is a wheel with a series of backward vanes. It is mounted on a shaft which is usually coupled to a electric motor. Okay, now the wheel in the middle, this is the impeller. It has backward curved vanes. Okay, and at its center there is the eye of the impeller. Eye of the impeller at which the shaft is provided, to which an electric motor is connected. Okay, next, casing. The casing is an airtight chamber surrounding the pump impeller. It contains suction and discharge arrangements, supporting for bearings, and facilitates to house the rotor assembly. The essential purpose of the casing are to guide water to and from the impeller and to partially convert the kinetic energy into pressure energy. Okay, now this casing outside this impeller, this is the circular impeller. Outside the casing which has the increasing area, this casing is known as the volute casing. Okay, it has many purposes. First purpose is to protect the impeller which is inside the casing. Okay, next purpose is to guide water to and fro from the impeller, and third purpose is to convert the kinetic energy into pressure energy. Okay, now the third component part is the suction pipe. Okay, the pipe which connects the center of the impeller to sump from which liquid is to be lifted. Okay, this is the suction pipe. It is connected from eye of the impeller up to the sump. This is the sump. Okay, or the lower elevation from which the water is to be sucked. Okay, now this suction pipe consists of a footwall and a strainer. Okay, it consists of footwall and a strainer. The function of strainer is to not let any solid particles enter along with the water, and the function of the footwall is that it is only a one-sided or a non-return wall. Okay, that means only water can only enter from this wall, but it cannot come outside. It cannot come back from the wall. Okay, so that is the function of footwall. Now delivery pipe. The pipe which connected at its lower end to the outlet of the pump and it delivers the liquid to the required height is known as the delivery pipe. Okay, this is the delivery pipe which conveys the fluid to the required height in the overhead tank. Okay, so we will again see the component parts in this diagram. Okay, so the centrifugal pump first consists of a first suction pipe. Okay, In the suction pipe, it sucks the water from the sump. Okay, sump is a water at a lower elevation. Now this suction pipe consists of a foot valve and a strainer. The purpose of the strainer is to not let any solid particles or any other particles enter along with the water in the pump, because then if the solid particles enter the pump, it can destroy the impeller and the casing. Okay, now second is the foot valve. Okay, foot valve work is to only let the water in, okay, in the pump. The water which is inside the pump cannot come back outside through the foot valve. So it is also known as a non-return valve or a one-sided valve. Okay. Now this suction pipe is connected to the eye of the impeller. Okay. Eye of the impeller is surrounded by the impeller. This impeller is nothing but a wheel mounted with backward curved vanes. Okay. Uh, this impeller is surrounded by a volute casing. Okay, if you notice this casing, uh, in the beginning the area is less, and as we go further the area goes on increasing of this casing, and then this casing is connected to the delivery pipe. Okay, thank you. So in this lecture we have seen the introduction of centrifugal pump and the component parts of centrifugal pump. Okay, in the next unit, uh, in the next lecture we'll see the working of a centrifugal pump. Okay, thank you.